Good afternoon, Sam. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Holly, thanks for having me.
All right. So you're in one of these districts that has gone Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, correct?
That is fairly accurate, yes.
Okay.
It's been back and forth.
Right.
No doubt, yep.
And this time you're actually facing a really bad, I would just say scumbag, who's posting on Facebook how to avoid, for giving advice to illegal immigrants on how to avoid arrest and deportation.
Yeah, he's definitely done that. He's done it. He did it in English for 1 week, and then apparently that wasn't enough. So he was kind enough to come back out the next week and do it in Spanish to make sure that he got his point across, which is incredible for the fact that we've got over 1,000 violent illegal immigrants in our jails here in the Las Vegas Clark County Jail, and he's doing those kind of things. It's just pathetic coming from a sitting congressman. To your point, you mentioned the Democrats are trying to protect their own. The word on the street is Stephen Horsford is in the Democratic Protection Program with the DNC. So, but we're fighting against it.
He's in the Democratic Witness Protection Program or the Nancy Pelosi Protection Program?
Yeah, it's one and the same, I believe. One and the same. So
tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you served in the military, but give us a little bit of who Sam Peters, and we also, I know our listeners will want to know: are you a Mitt Romney type of Republican, or are you a Donald Trump type of Republican?
I just vomited in my mouth a little bit there. You just said that Mitt Romney name. I'm definitely a Trump supporter and a conservative Republican. Well, I spent 20 years in the military, like you mentioned. I did 4 deployments in the Middle East. I earned a Bronze Star out of Afghanistan, and I didn't come back to the United States thinking that I would be needing to step up and fight against socialism. But you know what? Here we are. We're doing that. For the first time in my lifetime, at least, we've got candidates from the other party standing up on stage, spouting socialism openly, like it's a good thing. And anybody with a brain can look at history and see that it's never worked, and it's just atrocious. The fact that one person would want to go that direction for our country, let alone a group of them, it's beyond me. So I'm stepping up. I retired from the military 6 years ago. I've been open to business here in Las Vegas. It's going incredibly well. It's given me the opportunity to step back in. I'm married, got a bunch of kids. I can't see them living in socialism, like I mentioned, and here I am. So I'm going to fight and win this seat and put some conservative values back in Congress.
All right. As a candidate, are you pro-wall or anti-wall? Where do you stand on illegal immigration?
Build the wall yesterday. Build. Walls work. I spent 10 years in law enforcement. I was a canine handler, and we actually deployed units down to the southern border for narcotics interdiction. The walls work all over the world. Throughout history, they work, and we need one. So build it. And as far as illegal immigration goes, there are so many pieces of our illegal immigration or our immigration policy that is flawed, from the visa lottery to catch and release, and the list goes on and on. So it needs a major overhaul, and somebody with some experience that's worked in those things needs to step up. And here I am.
All right. Where do you stand? I believe these impeachment hearings have been one big advertisement for term limits. Where do you stand on term limits?
Term limits, I've signed the pledge. I think Ted Cruz has a great bill in front of the Senate that I would absolutely support in the House. And, 6 years total for a congressman or for a House of Representatives, and 2 terms, 12 years for Senate is plenty. I think that kind of meets the intent of what the Founding Fathers had in mind when they created the Constitution and these houses of the legislative branch.
Now, the Democrats have to be worried because when they started advertising in your district, pretty early, and this district has gone Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, now with a progressive Democrat that's helping illegal immigrants avoid ICE.
Yeah.
But he was also, your opponent, I believe, Steve Horsford, was for impeachment, then undecided on impeachment, and then for impeachment. Am I? Do I have that right? And what do you think about impeachment?
You have that right with Horsford, and just like most, everybody I talk to in the district, and I've traveled the district significantly over the last 6-8 months, and everybody I'm talking to is just tired of the continuous onslaught towards the president, and the impeachment is just another level of that. The fact that Nancy Pelosi is sitting on it and not letting it get to the Senate, people are disgusted. They're disgusted by Horsford's vote to go the way he did. And the flip-flop back and forth. It's really he tests the water a little bit, and he does the same thing on healthcare. He puts his toe in to see how warm it is and see what he can get away with. In the impeachment example, Nancy Pelosi's behind him 100%, and that's what she wants, so that's what he did.
So now you're hoping to represent Vegas out there, and during the Obama administration, the unemployment numbers were in the double digits. Am I got that number right?
You are, yeah. It's 11, somewhere between 11 and 13%. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And what's the unemployment now during the Trump administration?
It's under 4%, just like the rest of the nation. Best in 50 years, I believe.
But your opponent endorsed Biden, right? I mean, he's supporting Biden.
He did.
What does he want to go back to the days of that?
Well, that's the only thing you can get out of that. He's American for Prosperity have given him a 10% lifetime rating. He is bad for business across the board. And you can go back. He was CEO of the culinary union out here, so he's got a large base of folks that look towards their union. And I'll tell you, I've met with folks from the union, and the union workers, they have woken up. They understand the work that they're getting and the prosperity that is being seen not only in Vegas but across the country is because of Trump policies and the administration doing good things and a pro-business administration.
Yeah, so, I just don't understand. I don't understand how he could possibly support Biden when that means unemployment of 11 to 13%, especially when Barack Obama, obviously Biden's, cohort there in the White House said, don't go to Vegas.
Yeah, he's come up favorably against for the Green New Deal as well. Ending airplanes and
how do you get to Vegas without an airplane?
Building trains across oceans. Yeah, exactly. So, well, it won't hurt his lifestyle very much since he hasn't been back to Vegas. He's lived in Virginia for the last 6 years, so that won't hurt his lifestyle at all. Yeah,
he's a lobbyist as well, right? The congressman right now.
That is correct.
Yeah, so he was a lobbyist. I mean, the last thing we need to be electing is lobbyists. I mean, that just seems crazy.
We need, and I get the question a lot of, what are you hearing across the district? What are you hearing from voters? Voters want to be heard. Voters want to talk to somebody who's actually going to represent them and can represent them because they've had conversations and they've been on the ground and they've talked to, and had held town hall meetings and done these things to gather ideas from the district to take back to Washington. Again, as representation, the word is pretty clear to me. And that's what it should be. Being able to take the voice of the district back to Washington, not the other way around. And the people in the district are telling me over and over and over again: 1, they don't know who the guy is; 2, they don't trust him; and 3, the fact that I'm on the ground talking to them earns a lot of respect in their eyes. And we're going to take this thing. We're working hard, and we're going to fight. And Horsford's going home.
Well, definitely the DCCC has got to be fearing you if they're putting in ads now. And those ads, none of them are like, hey, Horsford was great. He supported impeachment. They're doing ads on other stuff, right? There's not like, oh, Horsford took a brave vote on impeachment. They're trying to talk other issues. So
they are. They're trying to talk HR3, and he had a bill that he was trying to get through on the Spike Act, and everything that he has been talking about in the district has been around the pricing of pharmaceutical and prescription drugs, those kind of things. So that's the only focus he has had.
Was he looking for a job? Was he looking for a job to be a lobbyist for a pharmacy afterwards?
That might be the case. That might be the case. But looking for a job is something that he should be doing.
All right. Well, obviously the DCCC's scared of you, Sam Peters. And so if people want to find out more about you or more about your illegal immigration plan, where do they go?
Yeah, sure. So my website is sampeters4congress.com, sampeters4congress.com. You can also look at us on Facebook and Twitter at Sam Peters Nevada.
All right. Well, Sam, first of all, I want to thank you for your service to our country. I know you're a Bronze Star recipient. Really appreciate that. But I also want to thank you for joining us today.
Holly, thanks for having me, and I appreciate you reaching out and getting me on. I appreciate it very much.
All right. That's Sam Peters, forcongress.com. He is running in one of those important swing seats in our nation. We got to win this seat in order to kick out Nancy Pelosi, who is so masterful with the impeachment. I'm joking there. I'm Holly Robichaud, filling in for Howie Carr today. We'll be right back after the short break.